You feel it on the outside before you get inside. It's different because it reeks of history and class. A castle-like structure and one-time restaurant known as Camelot, it is a slice of majesty. The interior is now an art collector's paradise. This is where Bill Mack offices and creates. To understate it is to call it unique.
25,000 feet, who in the world would need something like that? But I make big art. And I need this facility. We show it here. We've got a separate gallery.
But it's kind of an iconic architectural structure, too.
Oh, and it's so well built. There's not a crack in this building. Built in the 60s. And it was called Camelot.
Mack is the one who created it and purchased it. A world-renowned artist who did not see himself doing this when he was growing up.
I am blessed with a talent that I frankly had no interest in being an artist. It was too realistic. I never thought I could make a living at it.
But when his relief work started to take shape, so did he. Meeting his wife of nearly 4 decades about the same time. Deciding on their future in this very building.
You know, this building's a landmark building, the old Camelot Restaurant. But, you know, when it sat empty, I think, for 6 years before we purchased it. And I think we've owned it for 21 years. And, you know, once we purchased the building, I said to Bill, you know, Bill, I think we were engaged here. I mean, I totally forgot about it, but yeah, we were engaged here. So it has a lot of meaning.
Together, they have built a family and a business and a life, one filled with magic moments, like creating a sculpture for the Ryder Cup.
Well, I'd done the walking man out in front of Hazeltine, so we wanted to incorporate that with the Ryder Cup. So I don't know that they've ever done this before, but they created a globe, and the only countries on the globe are the countries that are eligible to send a player. Not the ones that actually did, but all these countries are eligible to send a player over.
He is constantly creating, and that means constantly imagining and dreaming and innovating.
I think he's a very smart man, number one. I mean, he's like an engineer. He can make anything happen. You know, I gave him the idea to paint on blinds, and it was difficult. And he said, you know, he puts his mind to it, and with his expertise, he's got like an engineering mind.
I like the idea of that metamorphosis from, from Clark Kent to Superman, and I like it from Marilyn, or Norma Jean to Marilyn and others. So when my wife actually suggested painting on some blinds. And I guess maybe, I don't know that I've seen that ever before, but I don't know that I've seen anybody do this. So you've got Clark Kent becoming Superman.
Wow. Then there is his biggest endeavor. See, Bill Mack thinks big, and he's a collector as much as he is a participant. So when he got a call to buy the original Hollywood sign, that's right, he said, why not?
I was going to say about the Hollywood sign too, that iconic image. Arguably, I say that that's probably the most recognized iconic structure on Earth. When you say that, again, you know, there's Eiffel Tower, Brandenburg Gate, all these other places, but little kids in India are going to know about the Hollywood sign. The Hollywood sign's worldwide. They called me, asked me if I'd like to buy the Hollywood sign. We can imagine the reaction. I mean, how in the world? First reaction is maybe hang up on them, and then about 30 minutes later, after he'd taken the time to explain it all, I understood that they had front panels from the original Hollywood sign.
He's produced a documentary on it, and he's turned small pieces of the letters into big pieces of art. Painting on the surface of his purchase, reminded of the history that defines an industry and an era. So Bill, this is from the Hollywood sign.
Yeah, this was one, I did this quite early on. I wanted to make an H. This is obviously considerably smaller than the Hollywood sign, but this is a scale. It's about 8 feet tall, and the Hollywood sign's technically 45 feet tall. So it's way larger, but this is also the biggest H I've ever done. It's real typical. You can see the holes that they bored in the metal, arguably to keep it from blowing over. Yeah. But in reality, I just think it was so poorly put together that the panels were flopping around all the time. The air was flowing through everything.
Part of the fun is part of the process. You see, he is restoring the letter H in his own parking lot.
Our I-beams are bigger than the I-beams right now for the up in Hollywood. We've been up to the new sign Their ideas on structure is...
They ain't falling off of this, are they?
No.
Yeah, every day is interesting. My life is interesting. I'm a grandmother. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a businesswoman. So every day is exciting.
You've raised it up and elevated it to something else through your gift as an artist.
Interesting, like their annual summer party, where clients and artists from around the world gather for an entertaining and energy-filled celebration.
Our summer events are actually they're incredibly fun, and we have a lot of people that come to see Bill and his art, and they come back year after year, and amazing people all over the world.
He will tell you the most in-demand image he produces is Marilyn Monroe. Oh, he's created statues for the Minnesota Twins and the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. But his love is in the process of the creation.
I wanted every thought that I had to be an original thought, but I always approach it as, from a little different perspective, because my art form essentially is the most unique art form, and I pretty much own it. I've done relief for 40 years professionally.
The couple, that is the husband and wife, who are the mother and father and grandmother and grandfather, have lived quite a life because of Bill's passion. And that's made this journey one amazing ride.
I always thought I'd be successful at something, but I certainly didn't think I'd be as an artist. And when I say that, I mean, I don't know what level of success it is, but I'm busy all the time, and people like me. I'm getting older. They like me more.
Life to the Max is brought to you by Life Touch, photography for a lifetime.